Hello, fellow Pipsqueak, and welcome to your new model. Hi. Today I'm gonna teach you how to set up your new model, whether you're a first-time model user or someone who needs a little refresher. I hope this helps. So first and foremost, before you start, make sure you have VTube Studio installed and ready to go. If you don't, you can get VTube Studio from Steam for free. Absolutely for free. However, if you would like to remove the little watermark that it comes with, it's only $15. Not too bad. Not too bad. So if you don't want the little watermark and you want to support the devs because they're pretty cool, go ahead and purchase the license. That way you can get rid of the little watermark at the bottom, even though it's really cute. So once you've done that and you've got VTube Studio all installed and ready to go, open it up. Once you've opened it up, you're gonna want to open up the menu. I believe you double click on your, I don't know, I think I changed mine. Open up the menu. Once you open up the menu, on the left hand side, there's gonna be a bunch of little buttons. You're gonna want to click on the top button, the orange one. It has a little person on it. Go ahead and click on that. And once you click on that, at the very bottom of your VTube Studio app, you're gonna see a big old bar that shows you all the models that you have pre-installed on VTube Studio. When you first download VTube Studio, you get a couple little freebie models that you can look through and kind of perceive. But we don't care about those. We don't care about those right now. We're a Pipsqueak now, okay? Okay, so once you go ahead and click on that button and you see the little bar at the bottom, you're gonna wanna go ahead and click on the leftmost button. It says import your own model. Yes. So once you click on that, it's gonna open up this little pop-up and say, create a folder containing your Live 2D model in the following folder. Blah, 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 blah. And that's gonna say the folder that it's gonna be going to. And then it says the model will then show up in the model selector, which it won't, but we'll get to that later. So go ahead and click open folder. Yes, open folder. Open folder. Once you open your folder, it's gonna open your files on your PC directly where all of your models are located. Yes, so this is where mine is. It should be something like that. It should be on Steam Apps, Common, VTube Studio, VTube Studio _ data, streaming assets, and then Live 2D models. That's where it should be. So, in that folder, you'll see all the preset models and some other fun stuff and blah, 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 blah. We don't care about that. We care about the zip file that I sent you. So, re-navigate to wherever you saved your Pipsqueak, Pips, that's hard to say, Pipsqueak zip file, and you're gonna go ahead and extract. So you're gonna right-click on the folder, and then in this little hamburg bar, it's gonna say extract all. You're gonna click on that one. But you'll need to know the exact location of your VTube Studio folder. This one right here. So I advise you to copy paste the folder linky thingy, whatever this is. What do you call that? The URL. It's not a URL. What do you call that? It's you copy the whole thing. The file location. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, the file location. Listen, I'm doing this unscripted, okay? Be kind. Be kind. Okay. So you're gonna want to copy that. So all you need to do is double click on that, and everything should turn blue. And then Control-C. You'll have that whole entire location copy pasted, and then we'll go back to extract. On the extract, blah blah blah. You're gonna want to go ahead and it'll be like, where would you like to extract this folder? Copy paste the location of your VTube Studio model folder, and everything should automatically be going on over there. You'll see a little loading bar. It'll be moving. It'll be green, and then once it's all done, you can go ahead and close it. You're good. So now you have the folders installed. What do you do now? go back to VTube Studio, and you're gonna want to click on that button one more time, the little orange person. Once you do, the same thing is gonna appear, the little bar on the bottom of your screen. And this time, you're gonna want to click Unload Model. Because if you don't, for some reason, the new model that you just installed won't show up. Or you can also just restart VTube Studio. That way you refresh all the folders and everything, and VTube Studio has a chance to refresh. So, once you do that, you can go ahead and click on the model folder, you click on the little orange guy again, and the bar will show up. You're gonna want to scroll all the way through there until you see your model. Yes, you'll see your model just like that. That's what it's gonna look like, except it's gonna be you right there and not me. So once you've done that, your model should load up and be ready to go. So that's the general setup stuff. But then what? Well, I'll show you. It's me again. Hi. But this time, you see my mouse. So, I'm gonna show you a little bit about the menus and stuff and things that you should and shouldn't maybe mess around with to adjust to your liking. And I'll just go through all the menu options that are important. Yes. So, here's that little menu bar I was talking about earlier. You're gonna go ahead and click on the pink cog this time. Yes. Yes, so this is gonna open up all your little menus and stuff to adjust features and toggles and blah, 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 blah on your model. It looks a little intimidating, but don't worry, I'll show you the important stuff. So for the most part, you can go through and, you know, if there's anything that you don't like, you can kind of eyeball things. There's some things that are, you know, pretty self-explanatory. But some key points. If you have an iPhone, you're going to want to make sure you have VTube Studio installed on that as well. I had some issues with not purchasing the license on VTube Studio on my phone, so I would recommend having both licenses just so you don't have any issues. If you want to connect via Wi-Fi, you'll want to set up a server. You can find information on that on the VTube Studio Discord server. They're very self-explanatory over there, and it's a little bit easier than me trying to walk you through it here because I don't have my phone on screen. But yeah, you'll need to start. Don't look at that. I'm now realizing I might have to hide this. But you'll want to start the server, and then you'll want to connect on the server on your phone too. Make sure you're connected to the same IP. Or on the other hand, you can connect via USB. You'll just need to have your computer directly plugged into your PC. Yes, and at the same time, it won't be charging. I had some issues with that, so I highly recommend if you're going to be using an iPhone to use Wi-Fi settings. Yes. Otherwise, if you have a webcam, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And we'll go over that later. I just want to really quick go over this whole tab. That way we got everything all done. I highly recommend, this is the last thing I recommend that you check out here. This right here, microphone settings. This is important. I like to recommend all of my VTuber babies use their microphone for their lip syncing. It makes it a little bit easier for the program to know what you're saying. You can look at my settings here if you'd like to use them. They use Japanese phonetics, so it's not exactly one-to-one with English, but it gets the job done. It works. So you'll need to turn on use microphone, select the microphone that you'll be using, and you can adjust some of the settings if you want to, and set it to these specific settings that I have down here. Or you can mess around with them with a little bit. It doesn't matter. Then you'll have a much better time with your lip syncing. It'll look a little bit better. Okay, next tab. Next tab. Back to the webcam conversation. If you do plan on using your webcam, you'll want to choose your webcam here and turn your camera on. You can auto start your camera with VTube Studio. That way, every time you turn on VTube Studio, you open up the program, it'll automatically turn on your webcam so you're ready to go. I recommend having an FPS of 30 to 60. Otherwise, if you have it any lower, it's gonna look weird. It'll look like a weird slideshow. I'll be moving like this. Like that. It's weird. Don't do that. So set your FPS to 30 or 60, depending on what your computer can handle. Fortunately, these models are pretty compact and tiny, so you shouldn't have to worry about them being super duper intensive on your PC. But yeah. So you'll want to have it set to these settings, and you should be good to go. Every now and then you might have some issues with tracking. When you have I'm using my iPhone right now, but if you're using your webcam, there's gonna be a little box that pops up right here, and it has a scary face. Sometimes if your tracking's a little wonky or things don't really move how they should, and you're like, what the heck is going on? You're gonna want to click calibrate. There's a little calibrate button where the face is. And usually 9 times out of 10, that's the solution. Usually if you like get up and you walk away, or you're in low lighting and your tracking has a hard time telling where your face is, or something weird happens, 9 times out of 10, like I said, that's probably your best bet. That's the first troubleshooting option. Next one is you message me and I fix it for you. Okay, so some of these settings you can adjust, and I recommend if you'd like to. These are just kind of fun little customizability options. If you would like, you can have your model change how it works when it loses tracking. So I have mine set to stay at pose, so if my tracking loses my face, it stops like this. And it's gonna stop exactly where my face last left off. And as soon as it picks up my face again, it'll come right back. Or you can have it set to go back to default, which I think is a little jarring, but if you like it, good on you. It does this instead. That was a bad example, like this. It just goes back to the default. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's losing tracking, and it goes from here to here, and it just stands there menacingly. So if it depends on if you like silly poses or if you like standing there menacingly, I suppose. I don't know what this does. So I'm gonna skip it. I haven't done anything with it my whole entire Live 2D career, so I don't know. I don't know what that does. Don't worry about it. Next one. I have my eye tracking to always link my blinking. Because it's weird. Also, my webcam doesn't allow me to not do that, so I just have it set to that anyways. Or sorry, my iPhone. So if you like your eye blinking to be separate, you can have it set to never. Or if you like having the stability of both of your eyes closing at the same time and not looking silly and having one eye half open and half closed like this, you can viewer discretion is advised. Included in the model, I've made a wink toggle. That way, even if you plan on having your eye blinking linked always, you can still wink. Yes. So the rest of the stuff is I like my settings a lot, and I set the model based on settings that work for me, so you can always refer to my settings right here if you'd like, or you can kind of tweak around with them a little bit. If you wind up not liking them, you can always reset it up here, or you could just refer back to this video and set it back to the settings that I have. But they're all pretty self-explanatory. Your blink sensitivity, so like how closed your eye needs to be for it to register as a blink, and that applies to most of these. How up do you need your eyebrows to be for it to register your eyebrows to go all the way up? That kind of thing, if that makes sense. Yes. I think the rest of this stuff is just kind of additional information that doesn't really pertain to this model in specific, so I'll try to keep it short. Next tab! Next tab! Next tab! I'm gonna be honest. Don't mess with anything. No. You're fine. I recommend not messing with any of these though. Because sometimes it gets a little bit confusing. There's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of information on here, and most of it is rigging stuff. It gets a little confusing if you've never rigged before, or you don't know what the numbers do, or, you know, any of that stuff. But if you have any difficulties with your tracking, or you don't like how something moves, I recommend instead reaching out to me and letting me know, and I can make the adjustments necessary. That way, we can make sure that your model works perfectly fine. Because, the reason I say that is because some of these physics, or some of these parameters, I say, are linked to the physics. So if I were to adjust some things, like if I adjusted how smooth the face turned, the jiggle on the head would be drastically changed as well. So that's why people usually say, maybe don't adjust your settings on your rig when you get it if you don't have prior knowledge. But I'm more than happy to help if you have any issues. But that's about everything for here. If you'd like, you can have your model set to be a little more movie by changing the movement configuration. I don't, because I like that my model looks like they're standing. Because when you change this, the whole model's gonna go like this. Same goes for Y as well. It makes the whole model go up and down. And then Z, it makes the model go forward and back when you get closer to your mic. You can adjust those if you'd like, but I recommend against it just because this model is made with being standing on the floor in mind. Okay. We're approaching the end here. Okay? We're almost there. Home stretch. If you made it this far, good job. I'm proud of you. I hope everything's going okay on your end. So, last but not least, we have the fun part. The toggles, okay? So, depending on whether or not you have some sort of like a Stream Deck or a separate hotkey keyboard, or if you just plan on using your own keyboard, you'll want to adjust your settings necessary. So you can set it to use your keyboard hotkey. I don't know why I have this on. I use a Stream Deck, so I don't really need this. But if you don't have a Stream Deck and you have a keyboard, you can click this instead. You don't really need to mess with any of this stuff, honestly. So when you get your model, you should have all of these expressions ready to go. It looks a little intimidating, but it's pretty easy. I'll go over one and show you what it means. So we'll go up to angry. So angry is already made. We have the expression. So let's go ahead and set it up. What do we want to set this to? All you need to do is click on... So I recommend if you're using your own keyboard that you have maybe like a combination of keys to press. That way you don't mess anything up. Like, I don't know, Control and F13. That doesn't even exist. F12. F12! So Control and F12 or something like that, or Shift and F12. I'm just gonna set it to numpad 1. That way I can keep it easy. So now, anytime... Oh wait, I turned the thing off. Hold on. Use that. There we go. Anytime I press that button, our toggle will be activated. So again, depending on whether or not you want it to be on your keyboard or on your Elgato or whatever you plan on doing. If you have a Stream Deck, you'll want to install the VTube Studio plugin. And there's tutorials for that as well. And then you'll set it to this specific model and select the I think it's, what is it called? Model model toggle or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the button is called like model toggle, and then you put it on your Stream Deck, and then it'll ask you what model would you like this for. Select your Pipsqueak model, and then it'll ask you what toggle would you like to add, and then you'll select whatever toggle you'd like, and it'll even name it for you and everything. It's great. It's fantastic. But if you don't have that, numpad keyboards work just as well. You can set it to stop after a while. So if I activate it and I want it to turn off after a while, in 10 seconds that will go away without me touching anything. So you could do that for like your stinky toggle, or you could do that for your wig snatch toggle, or you know, whatever you want. But you can use it for that. Or you can have it so that you hold the button, and once you let go, it untoggles as well. So those are a couple of options for you. But you have all these 10 toggles that you'll want to find little homes for. That way you can remember them and use them on your stream. And then when someone calls you Stinky, you can become Stinky. Okay? Okay. So I think that's all the basics. We went over how to install your new model, how to set up your webcam or your phone. We talked about some of the important settings that you can change for your model. And we went over how to set up all of your toggles. That's just the basics for now. If you have any other questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I'm not the best at troubleshooting, but I can absolutely try my absolute little hardest to figure out your problem if you have any. Keep in mind, all tracking is very individual to everyone's specific situation, depending on your camera, your environment, whether or not you have glasses or bangs. So many little things go into how your model tracks and other things like that. So make sure you keep those things in mind. I clip my bangs out of my hair, and I have pretty light colored glasses. I even recommend possibly getting a separate pair of transparent frames. That way it doesn't mess with your tracking at all. I had transparent frames for a long time, and that helped a lot with my tracking. I recommend as well getting an iPhone. That's a pretty big purchase though if you already have an iPhone. 10 and up, I believe it is. They work great for tracking. I do know that webcams are getting better as well. So those of you guys who are using webcams, you should be able to still wiggle your nose like that and get mouth X, which is very fun. That used to not be a thing. So anyways, I'll stop chatting your ear off. If you have any questions, like I said, please feel free to message me. I'm more than happy to help out. I am very busy though, so please be patient with me. I try my best. If you have any other questions that you think maybe you don't want to bother me for, or what, which you don't have to worry about, by the way. But just in case you're too shy, that's fine. You can always check out the VTube Studio Discord, or the Live2D Discord. I recommend the VTube Studio Discord though. They're a little bit more specific. You'll find a lot of good information on there. Yeah, I think that's everything. That's it. Good job. I'm proud of you. Woo! You did it! Congratulations! You set up... Wait, hold on. Let's celebrate. You set up your model! Hopefully without any pain. Maybe by pain from me talking your ear off. Okay, bye. Get out of here, you crazy Pipsqueak!